Hey y'all, come look at this.
No King's Day protest here in Detroit. I was arrested and assaulted by multiple people.
Come look at this.
No King's Day protest here in Detroit. I was arrested and assaulted by multiple people. I went there to counter protests and of course preach an anti-immigration message.
First of all, you just got out and ain't washed your ass or nothing. And ran in the bushes to make a video. You ain't even combed that man's fruit. That's that you was going down there to say, fuck, you think Trump gonna hear that shit? Don't nobody know who the fuck you are.
We've got millions of free child place holidays available.
I'm sitting here downtown Detroit, and we got the Black Hebrew Israelites, the dumbest people in America. I'm sitting here downtown Detroit, and we got the Black Hebrew Israelites, the dumbest people in America.
Single mother household dream. I'm gonna be honest. I don't hate black people. You think that you're the real Jews?
Downtown Detroit. We got the Black Hebrew Israelites, the dumbest people in America. I'm sitting here downtown Detroit, and we got the Black Hebrew Israelites, the dumbest people in America.
Single mother household dream. I'm gonna be honest. I don't hate black people. You think that you're the real Jews? Imagine that. Imagine thinking that you're Jewish when you're black. You're black.
Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory going to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakrak Radash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you occupants out there pushing this truth with all honesty and sincerity by way of the highways and byways, going on the streets, teaching and preaching. All right. Shalom to you and also by way of the internet. Shalom to you very few sisters that's out there listening and learning. To you very few Akwaf that's out there listening and learning. Going back to the names, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father name, which means He is or He exists. Bahashem means coming in the name, and what the world ignorantly calls JC or Jesus Christ. His name is not Jesus Christ. It's not Jesus Christos. It's not Yeshua. It's not Yehoshua. It's not Yeshaya, Ushaya. It's not none of that. All right. His name is Yahweh Shai. All right, which means He saves or He delivers. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people. This is your brother Nayap, and I'm back with another lesson. This lesson may be extensive, so I will let you know, but I will try to move as fast as I can possible. Now, as you seen in the video, we got this in which we can go back. Okay. Let's get a good start. So we have this person. All right. Now this dude goes around and he just doesn't. He doesn't like so-called black people, even though his jacket is black and his skin is brown. All right. Then we gonna get into some scriptures, but he's a coon. All right. It's no other way to put it. He likes Esau, Edom. He loves this country. And he want to, join hand in hand with the wicked. He want to be a part of the system. He's probably going to be the one who takes that chip. and then say you niggas is stupid for not taking it. These are going to be the same niggas that's going to go. And this dude name is Andre Williams. As you can see, this is his page or whatever. So that man that you just seen, all right, he's lost. All right, he's lost. And not only did he end up going to an event that our people not even supposed to be a part of, going out there protesting, that doesn't do anything, all right, at all. It doesn't do anything at all. But our people still go out there to do it. So he went out there. He starts saying some shit. They kicked his ass. He had ended up. I guess I'm hearing a couple sources that he may have had a weapon with him. Allegedly, he had a weapon with him. I don't know. But he only thing that I've seen was the microphone. So I'm gonna just give him that. So, he out there, he got his ass whooped, he got tossed out by the crowd, and then what happens is now he's messing with the IUIC brothers. All right, which the IUIC brothers, though they are divided,
I'm sitting here downtown
in their own congregation.
I'm sitting here downtown
The brother at the end, as you can see, the brother at the end, this is the brothers IUIC. All right, and they was out there. I don't know where they was, but somewhere in the mix. Because if they was protesting, and then you got IUIC out there as well, it just don't make no sense to be out there doing that. All right, it just doesn't. Okay, it's a whole bunch of purple zombies, but we gonna get into these scriptures, man, because this is more so about Andre and not so much about the brothers. Okay, so let's go back. So I like as I said before, I got quite a bit of scripture. So let me Salakia. Let me get this background playing. So what I'm gonna end up starting off with, and when you out there on the highways and byways, man, people like this, they just come up to scoff. All right, he's a fool, and we about to be getting into a couple of those, well, majority of those scriptures. All right, I'm just waiting on something. 2 seconds. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, man. So let's see what I want to get first. All right, because I'm gonna get a couple of these regular ones first. He was talking about, imagine you thinking that you're he said Jayish, all right, which we can get the etymology of that word right quick. I was gonna get it towards the end, but let's get it. All right. All right. It says in Old English, Middle English, used in Jude wish. It says Old German. All right. It's going back to, let's go to this. It says furgative use in reference to extortionate. All right. Money lending, attest. All right, so those are what you got, which are the so-called J-ish people. All right, because they call themselves J-ish. We're not J-ish, we're Israelites. All right, and there's a tribe of Judah. It says Jew right here. It's Jew, ancient, modern, or it says one of Jewish race or religion. All right, it's not a Jewish race. There's no such thing. All right, it says Judah. All right, and it's not Semitic, it's Shemitic. So let's go ahead and let's get the word for what do I want to get? Israeli. which is we're Israelites. All right, them people over there in the land aren't the people. It says Israeli, a citizen of the state of Israel, a citizen of the state of Israel. All right, so they're just citizens. All right, they're not the actual descendants. Okay. And usually, when you go to AI mode, it says Israeli, or you can just do this. Oh, that because I put in Slakia. It's because I put in the wrong thing. My bad, y'all. Okay, Israeli, a person who is a citizen or resident of the state of Israel. The identity is not limited to a single ethnicity or religion and is defined by nationality by encompassing a diverse population. All right, so they're not Jews. Okay, they're not Israelites. That is. Anyway, just to get that over with. All right, now let's get the definition, because he was throwing names and he was talking down on the brothers, saying that they're stupid. Well, we're going to see. All right, we're going to see about that. All right, I'm gonna read this definition. I may come back to it. All right, so the definition of stupid: slow. All right, slow of mind, obtuse, given to an unintelligent decisions or acts, acting in an unintelligent or careless manner. All right, him going in the middle of a crowd. All right, going to a so-called protest. All right, which is stupid in itself, because no king's protest, somebody has to be a king over something. All right, somebody has to rule over the people, dumbass. Anyway. All right, slow. It says lacking intelligence or reason. All right, so let's get a couple little synonyms: dumb, slow, simple. All right, and this man is slow. All right, and very unintelligent. All right, because if he knew who he was, he would not be coming up to them brothers and being like that. He would never even partake in the things that he partook in. All right, lacking intelligence. That's what he has. All right, dull in feeling and sensation, marked by or resulting from unreasoned thinking or acting, senseless, lacking interest or point. All right. So, and that's what you seen what was going on with the brothers. So, I'm gonna go ahead and hit a couple basic scriptures, and then, like I said, we just gonna get right up into this. Well, we are into this right now, but I want to go deeper into this. All right, so this is Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction." All right, this is not our rest, but yet he wants to see America be the best that it can, and America is falling. All right, this is Micah 2:10 in the NLT. It says, "Up, be gone. This is no longer your land and home. All right, for you have filled it with sin and ruined it completely." All right, this is not our rest. Okay, this is not our place to be relaxing and trying to build homes and trying to be getting education from Esau, like he's the one that's gonna help us. Come on, man. But you coon ass niggas, you know. This is Proverbs 11:21. "Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered." All right, even though you trying to join your hand with Esau, Edom, and trying to make Esau prolong his days, all right, it's not going to happen. The bounds pass, right? Job 14:5. "Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass." All right, this Esau, Edom, cannot go past. All right, what with the Lord, because he has a height to reach. All right, and once he reaches that, it's over. All right, and you can see that now. It says, turn from him that he may rest till he shall accomplish as an hireling his day. All right, so I want to see what this also says. In the NLT, it says, you have decided the length of our lives. You know how many months we will live, and we are not given a minute longer. All right, so the Lord knows what he's doing. All right, he knows what he's doing. All right, and the wicked, he can't prolong his days. All right, it's already predetermined. All right. Now let me get another one, just another good one. This is Proverbs 16:5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. All right, if you want to be proud with Esau, Edom, because Esau, Edom is prideful, in heart and an abomination to the Lord. All right. You proud to come up and be speaking ill will about to the men of the Lord and about that we're stupid, but yet you have no wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures. All right, it says, though hand join in hand in this society, he's trying to join hand in hand. It says, he shall not be unpunished. All right, you're going to go and get punished for the things that you have done. You don't go up to men of the Lord and do that. All right. Any it's a respect thing at the end of the day as well. The Lord detests the proud; they will surely be punished. All right, in NLT in Proverbs 16:5. So let's go ahead and remember we're going off of that stupid definition, but I want to get this right quick. All right, this is Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses, all right, and trust in the chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. All right, you look at Esau, Edom, and his military, all right, and things like that, and you see his system, you see what he's trying to do with his system, and you're with it because you want this place to continue. All right, it says because they are very strong. It says, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. You're seeking after Esau, Edom, and his society by his father. And that's the problem with you coon ass niggas. All right, now let's go ahead and get this as well in the NLT. It says, what sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help. All right, who look to America for help. The SNAP benefits. You women is chalk. All right, you women is chalk. A lot of you women have just been sitting up in the house. All right, and just popping babies out and shit, and just taking all that money and shit from brothers. Hey man, your ass gonna have to get up. Section 8 houses is getting cut, hella. And that's in the next chapter, Isaiah 32:9. Where it says, what sorrow awaits those who look to Egypt for help. It says, trust in their horses, chariots, and charioteers, and depending on the strength of human armies instead of looking to the Lord Yahweh, the Holy One of Israel. All right, and that's what a lot of our people do. All right, it's all kinds of people who scoff and come against this truth. All right, so now we just about to go ahead and flow into this fool, because what he did was foolish, and that's a fool. So let's get it. This is Psalms 10 and 6. All right, so 10 and 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. It says, and under his tongue is mischief and vanity. All right, what that says in the NLT. In the NLT, it says their mouths are full of cursing, lies, and threats. All right, and that's what they come up doing. They say all kinds of things, lying, saying that you ain't the people. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a certain skin color. And the skin color that he mentioned, nobody is that color. Nobody is the color of black. It says, and threats, trouble, and evil are on the tips of their tongues. All right, because look, if he's going everywhere and across the internet making beef or having beef with all kinds of people, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, of course, he was going to come to this side. And this is a side that you don't want to scoff against, all right? This is Psalms 92:6. It says, only a simpleton would not know, and only a fool will not understand this. All right, the fools can't understand this. So when you go out there on the highways and byways and you telling our people who they are and stuff like that, a lot of these fools won't be able to understand it. In the KJV, it says, a brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. This is Proverbs 13 and 15. I'm gonna get it, and like I said, I'm gonna get it in the KJV and then in the NLT on most of these. All right. So it says, good understanding giveth favor, but the way of the transgressors is hard. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth upon his folly. A wicked messenger falleth into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproach shall be honored. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but is abomination to fools to depart from evil. All right, you heard that? So, a lot of people that built the base off of folliness and off of wickedness, it's hard for them to depart from it because that's the only thing they know. Verse 20, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise. Who are the wise men? Starting off with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, and those who teaches the like doctrine. Okay. He that walketh with the wise men shall be wise. It says, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Now, let's get this in the NLT. Proverbs 13 and 15 in the NLT. A person with good sense is respected. A treacherous person is headed for destruction. All right, and that's what this man is going towards. It says, wise people think before they act. Fools don't, and even brag about their foolishness. He'd end up going and being like, hey man, I went up, look, that's what he did. I'm in front of these so-called black Hebrew Israelites. We're not black, we're Hebrew Israelites. All right, for one, get it right, dumbass. But that's the stupidity of people. It says wise people think before they act. All right, in which them brothers, they was doing what they do, man. Which he cut it out so he can get his man, what the fuck did his top of his head look like? A damn what you call them them little scrub pads? Damn, man. They the silver ones that be underneath your seat. The SOS pads or whatever. Alright, hold on, man. Let me see. Yeah. This what the top of that nigga head look like. A fucking SOS pad. Anyway. You gotta have fun with this, man. Wise people think before they act. Proverbs 13 and 16 NLT. Fools don't, and even brag about their foolishness. And an unreliable messenger stumbles into trouble, but a reliable messenger brings healing. All right, and there is no healing from, that can be done to that person. He keeps on getting into quarrels. If you ignore criticism, you will end in poverty and disgrace. If you accept correction, you will be honored. It is pleasant to see dreams come true, but fools refuse to turn from evil to attain them. All right, he don't want to turn from the wickedness to even receive the gifts of Yahweh Shem Yahushua because he don't know him. Walk with the wise and become wise. Associate with fools and get in trouble. All right, so that's why, a lot of times brothers, man, we out there for the elect. All right, we are out there for the elect, man. We are not out there for everybody. Okay. This is Proverbs 18:2. It says, "A fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart," meaning his mind, "may discover itself." All right, a fool hath no delight in understanding. All right, so when you got brothers that's out there, you would think if you got brothers that's out there, all right, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans out there with fringes on and 12 tribes chart and stuff like that, it seemed like as though you would be interested in inquire information or what's going on. Since they're your people, you will want to try to figure out what is this all about. But a fool have no delight in understanding. All right, verse 3, it says, "When the wicked cometh, then cometh also contempt, and with ignominy." All right, reproach, ignominy. All right, going back to, I believe, shame. All right, let me see if I can pull it up. I do not know how to spell it. Ignominy. Okay. All right, a deep personal humiliation. All right, disgrace. All right, when you go to the synonyms, shame, humiliation. All right. So it says, "When the wicked," Proverbs 18:3, "when the wicked cometh, then also contempt, and ignominy, reproach." All right, shameful reproach. It says, "The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters, and the wellspring of wisdom as a flowing brook." It says, "It is not good to accept the person of the wicked, to overthrow the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips entereth into contention, and his mouth calleth for strokes." All right, if you keep on coming up against the men of the Lord and saying this, that, and the other, the Lord gonna deal with you. Verse 7, "A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul." All right, a snare is a trap. His lips are the trap of his soul. All right, because you got to remember, whatever you saying against the men of the Lord, or saying just in general, the Lord records all of it. All right. All right, you fuck around and be a public example. All right, now let's get this in the NLT. Proverbs 18:2, "Fools have no interest in understanding. As we see, they only want to air their own opinions." See? That's why he faces the camera towards him and be like, "Hey, everybody, look at me." Right? Fools have no interest in understanding. They only want to air their own opinions. Doing wrong leads to disgrace, and scandalous behaviors brings contempt. All right, scandalous behaviors. Let's get the word for scandalous. Y'all remember that song, Scandalous? I think it was a song by a woman too. Scandalous behaviors. What's scandalous? Offensive, disgusting, ugly, sickening, shocking, horrible, awful, nasty, dreadful, hideous, obnoxious. All right, ugly behaviors. All right, nasty, man. Wise words are like deep waters. Proverbs 18:4. 18:3. Salakia. Doing wrong leads to disgrace, and scandalous, nasty behavior brings contempt. All right, what is contempt? Let's get the regular definition for contempt. All right. Let's get it. Contempt, disdain, right? Let's get some synonyms. The act of despising, all right? Disdain, hatred, all right? Hatred, all right? All right? And scandalous, nasty behavior brings what? Hatred. Brings hatred, disdain. Okay? What does it bring? It brings, let's go up. The state of being despised, willful, disobedience. All right. As you can see, that man need a rod of correction. All right. He, you know, our people, man, you know, that's how they is. Or are. That's how they are. Proverbs 18:4 in the NLT, wise words are like deep waters. Wisdom flows from the wise like a bubbling brook. It is not right to acquit, all right, the guilty or deny justice to the innocent. Fools' words get them into constant quarrels. They are they are asking for a beating. For it says the mouth of fools are their ruin. They trap themselves with their lips. All right. Fools' words get them into constant quarrels. We just seen this dude just get flipped upside down, backwards, rolled down the motherfucking aisle, man. Rolled down the aisle like a damn bowling ball hitting the pins. All right, strike. They got his ass right on up out of there. As soon as they got him up out of there, or I don't know if that was after, before, wherever the case may be, now he's going up to the brothers of IUIC. This has to stop, even though it's gonna get worse. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next one. All right, like what I said, man, this is strictly, well, right now we're talking about just fools. All right, this is Proverbs 19, and I want to get this in the KJV first. This is Proverbs 19:1. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity. All right, what does integrity mean? All right, which we can get the biblical definition as well, but let me just get it right here, regular old definition. I may make another video, man. I had this one video. These women be going off, man. They talking about if you these women be going off on TikTok, man. Talking about if a man don't want to smell my panties or whatever, he can't be with me. The fuck? Firm. It says firm. Soundness, completeness. All right. So completeness, integrity is completeness, soundness. All right, which goes back into honesty. All right, honesty. Okay. So better is the poor that walketh in his honesty or integrity than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. All right. Also, it says also that the soul be without knowledge is not good. All right, and that's why you see him bugging out. And he that hasteth with his word, with his feet sinneth. And that's what he do, because he want to be at everywhere and every place. The foolishness of man, all right, perverteth his way, and his heart, meaning his mind, fretteth against the Lord. All right, now let's get this in the NLT. Proverbs 19:1. Better to be poor and honest than to be dishonest and a fool. Facts. Enthusiasm without knowledge is no good. All right, you all enthusiastic, but you enthusiastic to come against the men of the Lord? That's no good. It says haste makes mistakes. People ruin their lives by their own foolishness and then are angry at the Lord. See? Because a lot of times our people be like, well, why are people like this? And all blah, blah, blah. You know, but let's scroll down here, because I got something down here as well before Proverbs 19:29 in the KJV. Judgments are prepared for scorners. All right. And stripes for backs of fools. Let's get that. All right, for the backs of fools.
Strong's H 3887. Lutes.
Strong's H 3887. Lutes.
To mock, to interpreter, ambassador. All right, but then what you have to boast, to scorn. All right, to scorn. All right, going down here it says in a foreign tongue from those who speak a foreign language, appearing to those who are ignorant of it, as if they babbled. All right, they mock. All right, like you would be like, you know how people be trying to mock the ministry, man, just mock us. All right, it says from to interpret, ambassador, have in derision, make a mock, scorn, scorners, scornful. Okay, goes all the way up into it. All right, so that's what he's about. All right, he's about scorning and mocking, but the scorning and mocking, all right, you're gonna fuck around and find out from the Lord. All right, this is Proverbs 20 and verse 3. Is an honor for a man to cease from strife. All right, strife is fighting. All right, strife is fighting. If you go up to here, and this is why you look up words, man. Who's stupid? You know what? Who's stupid? You know, let's look up strife. My bad, y'all. It bring it up. Strife. Fight. All right, fight, struggle. There you go. Fight, struggle. All right, discord, war, friction, conflict. All right, this man is always in conflict, always in a discord, always at war, always having friction. All right, just always into some bullshit. All right, Proverbs 20 and 3 again. It says, "It is an honor for a man to cease from strife, from fighting, but every fool will be meddling." All right, this man is a fool, so he's going to meddle with it. In the NLT, all right, let me get it. Proverbs 20 and 3, it says, avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. Avoiding a fight is a mark of honor. This man constantly just heads into it like an arrow, trying to hit his target. It says, only fools insist on quarreling. All right, a fool. You remember I brought up that word earlier. Quarreling. Let's see what quarreling means, right? Quarrel. All right, to expose, lay bare, to break out oneself. All right, quarrel. It says especially in dice drinking or individual. It says in dividing an inheritance. All right. So let's go back. Let me where we at? Proverbs. All right, let me get this. All right, this is Proverbs 24 and 9. All right, and we gonna get this in the KJV. The thought of foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men. All right, when you get people who come around and be la 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 la, be saying all that shit and just be, you know, that drives people away. Like where it says wicked coming speedily, the Satan coming speedily to take it away. Let me oh man. Mark 4:15, it says, and these are they by the wayside where the word is sown. All right, the brothers out there trying to, sowing the word. It says, but when they have heard, the crowd, all right, the brothers and sisters is out there, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts, sown in their what? In their hearts, in their minds. All right, because when you go to this, let's go to Bibles. Let's get in the NLT. It says the seed that fell on the footpath represents those who hear the message, only to have Satan come at once and take it away. All right, and that's what the brother did. All right, acting like Satan ended up taking the word away from people. All right, now we don't know. It may have been some people that probably ended up staying out there or whatever the case may have been. All right, but hey. And then when you go to Proverbs 24:9 in the NLT, it says, the schemes of a fool are sinful. Everyone detests a mocker. All right, everybody know who coming. Everybody like, oh, here go this motherfucker. We already know what he up to, right? We seen this nigga before. All right, we seen this nigga before. We seen this SOS pad. Okay? This is Proverbs 27:3 in the KJV. A stone is heavy and the sand weighty, but a fool's wrath is heavier than them both. All right, let's get this in the NLT. Proverbs 27:3. A stone is heavy and sand is weighty, but the resentment, all right, all right, because they have they come against this ministry like we don't know what we talking about, so they have a grudge against us. All right, they want to do ill will, it's ill will towards us for bringing out the truth. It says, but the resentment caused by a fool is even heavier. All right, and that's why we not out there for you fucking fools out there, man. Y'all don't bring nothing but confusion. All right, let's go to the Apocrypha. This is Sirach. This is Sirach chapter 20 and verse 5. It says, there is one that keepeth silence and is found wise, and another by much babbling becometh hateful. Some man holdeth his tongue. All right, it says, because he have not to answer, and some keepeth silence knowing his time. A wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity. All right, you let everything be decent and in order. But a babbler and a fool will regard no time. All right, he's just coming at so you say so He that useth many words shall be abhorred, and he that taketh to himself authority therein shall be hated. All right, now I want to get this. As you can see, we kind of already up in here. So let me get Sirach 20. And we're going to start at verse 5. It says, some people are, Sirach 20 and 5 in the GNT, Good News Translation. It says, some people are thought to be wise because they don't talk much. Others are disliked because they talk too much. Niggas and bitches, especially you women. You women, when it comes to this ministry, just shut the hell up. Okay, and I say it respectfully. Just shut up. Just learn from your husband at home. Or just learn from the brothers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Don't be coming on the comment board saying shit. I can understand the Shalom elders and things like that. Don't post no fucking scriptures. Don't be talking about your hair products and shit like that. But back to these niggas, right? It says others are disliked because they talk too much. That nigga talk too much. Ain't no education. There's not no edification about to come out because he's talking over other people. Some people keep quiet because they don't have anything to say. Others keep quiet because they know the right time to speak. All right. It says a wise person will not speak until the right moment, but a bragging fool doesn't know when that time is. No one can stand a person who talks too long and will not give others a chance to speak. All right, and some people like to say that, when people deal with IUIC, they say that they be yelling over them with blowhorns and or microphones and but hey man, you seen both people have in that, but one person you just seen him going up scoffing. All right, the brothers was out there trying to edify, and he came up being on some loose screw type shit. All right, so that's a beautiful scripture, man. Let me actually get, cause we still in here. This is Sirach 20. This is Sirach 20 and 20. And I'm gonna read down to 22 and get into GNT as well. It says a wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth. Why? Because of all this shit he's talking. Right? Lies, talking all this shit. We ain't the people, blah, 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 blah. For he will not speak in due season. All right? He might, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get to that in the GNT. It says there is that is hindered from sinning through want, and when he taketh rest, he shall not be troubled. It says there is that destroyeth his own soul through bashfulness, and by accepting of persons overthroweth himself. All right, so let's get that in the GNT. Sirach 20 and 20 in the GNT. It says nobody takes a proverb seriously when some fool quotes it at the wrong time. All right. So if a person is too poor to afford sin, he can rest without a guilty conscience. You can lose all your self-respect by being reluctant. All right, being hesitant. Reluctant goes back to hesitant. It says you can lose all your self-respect by being reluctant or hesitant to speak up in the presence of stupidity. But in this time, you know, which I don't know if the brothers was able to, you know, they probably may. I haven't seen the whole video, all right, but I just seen the snippet from what I seen. Dude came, said what he wanted to say these, boop, 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 you know, and the brothers probably ended up trying to bring some out or wherever the case may be. But hey, it says you can lose all your self-respect by being reluctant to speak up in the presence of stupidity. All right, so it's like 50-50 when you got this with Jake, you know, though we don't deal with fools. All right, that's why it's like you will lose all your self-respect by being hesitant to speak up in the presence of the stupidity. All right, so you got to make sure that words still come out, but you just got fools around, man, and it can be fucking irritating. All right, it should be irritating, you know, to the point that you just be like, man, just kick rocks up the fucking street, you know. Anyway, this is Sirach 22. All right, which I'm gonna get it in here as well. All right, this is Sirach 22 and 7. It says, "Whoso teacheth a fool is as one that glueth a potsherd, all right, together, and as he that waketh one from a sound sleep." Right? In the GNT, Sirach or Ecclesiasticus 22 and 7 says, "Trying to teach a fool is like gluing a broken pot back together. Like waking someone out of a deep sleep. Explaining something to a fool is like explaining it to a sleepy person. When you have finished, he'll say, 'What was that again?' Right, because why? They brain is so much. They're still into this world. They're still dead. All right, we gotta remember we're still in the valley of dry bones. These motherfuckers is asleep. All right, these motherfuckers is asleep out here. Now Sirach 22 and 13. All right, now hold on. First, I'm gonna get in here. It says, "Talk not much with a fool, all right, and go not to him that have no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest and never be disquieted with madness. It says, what is heavier than lead, and what is the name thereof but a fool? Sand and salt and a mass of iron is easier to bear than a man without understanding. All right. When you get that in the GNT, Proverbs 22:13 says, don't visit stupid people or spend a lot of time talking with them. All right, say what you got to say and tell them to get the fuck up the road. That's why I went to verse 7. All right. It says, avoid them. All right, it says, avoid them, then they cannot contaminate you. All right, with all their ideologies and what they think. It says, you can live in peace without being troubled or worn down by their foolishness. Such people are a heavier burden to bear than lead, and the only word that fits them is fools. It is easier to carry a load of sand, salt, and iron than to put up with a stupid person. All right, so who's the real stupid person? All right, who's the real stupid person? You don't even know who you are. You don't even know where you coming from. You don't even know where you going, nigga. Now let's get into this mocking. There was a lot of mocking going on, all right? And we're going to be wrapping this up very soon. I actually thought this was going to be longer. All right, let's go ahead and read this, man. This is Proverbs 1 and 22. I'm going to get this in the KJV, then the NLT. All right, so let's get this. Slack you. In the KJV first. It says, how long, ye simple ones? Didn't stupid go back to simple? Right? Didn't stupid go back? All right, didn't stupid go back to that? Dumb, slow, simple. 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 Proverbs 1 and 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? How long, man? But hey, when all hell break loose, Jeremiah 30 and 7, which is we basically already here. You know, 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter and stuff. It's gonna be a whole bunch of not really scorning. It says, turn you at my reproach. Behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you, and I will make known my words unto you. All right. Now, them words was made known to the elect. It says, because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand, and no man regarded. All right. It says, but ye have set a naught all my counsel. It says, and would none of my reproof. It says, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. All right, so you talking all that shit and making all mockery of the prophets, and other brothers can't believe, saying that we stupid for believing that we this, that, and the third. Well, it says, I also will laugh at your calamity, and I will mock when your fear cometh. All right. It says, when your fear cometh as desolation and destruction, cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. And how you gonna find Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? All right, because you know the elders and apostles, a great millstone on down, and the brothers who teaches the like doctrine. All right. And you know, you got IUIC out there that's at least letting you know that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be trying to seek them people. The same ones you scoffing against, talking shit to, you're going to be seeking. It says, for that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord Yahweh. They would none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way, and be filled with their own devices. You want to go without the Lord? You want to talk all this shit to his prophets? Hey, it says, for the turning away of the simple, or shall I say the stupid, shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall be destroyed. But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. While you over there trying to depend on Esau, Edom, all right, your ass gonna catch a couple fucking Esau, Edom, like what Elder Malcolm said the other day from the branch GMS Chicago. Elder of GMS Chicago. All right, he was saying that, you know, you end up, you fuck around and you go out there, if you won't be protesting and shit, Esau will stop. Esau, the self-proclaimed white man, will stop shooting at each other to shoot your ass, and them going back to shooting each other. Proverbs 1:22 in the NLT. How long, ye simpletons, will you insist on being simple-minded? How long will you mockers relish your mocking? How long will you fools hate knowledge? How long you gonna keep on scoffing against your own kind of people and not acknowledge of who you really are? All right, you dumb motherfucker. You think Esau, Edom is God's chosen people? Are you fucking serious? They can't even go out in the sun, dude. Verse 23, it says, come and listen to my counsel. I'll share my heart with you and make you wise. All right, and this is not a color thing. All right, because you got our people, like what I like to say, you got our people who look like Drake's son. Let's type in Drake's son, right? All right, now, what happens if Drake's son, that's Drake's son, what happens if Drake's son have sex with a white woman, right? When he gets older, when he's of age, of course, when he end up giving his seed to a white woman, that baby gonna look lighter than him. So this is not a colored thing. And Drake isn't black, he's brown. I believe he's from the tribe of Judah. All right. Anyway, his father is darker than he is. All right, so this is not a skin thing. It says, Proverbs 1:24 in the NLT. I called you so often, but you wouldn't come. I reached out to you, but you paid no attention. All right, it says you ignored my advice and rejected the correction I offered. So I will laugh when you are in trouble. I will mock you when disaster overtakes you, when your calamity overtakes you like a storm, when disaster engulfs you like a cyclone, and anguish and distress overwhelms you. When they cry for help, I will not answer. Though they anxiously search for me, they will not find me. It says, for they hated knowledge and chose not to fear the Lord Yahweh. They rejected my advice and paid no attention when I corrected them. Therefore, they must eat the bitter fruit of living their own way, choking on their own schemes. All right, and I guess his scheme is to see Esau, Edom, make it. For simpletons turn away from me to death. Fools are destroyed by their own complacency. But all who listen to me will live in peace, untroubled by fear of harm. All right, so we're not going to have to worry about that. But Bucko right here, he's fucked. All right, it's a wrap for him. Unless he repent. You never know. Never know. All right, now let's get this Galatians. I'm pretty sure y'all know where I'm going with this. This is Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. I ain't gonna, well, I'll get the NLT as well. It says, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap, right? So you're talking all that shit, you're going to have to reap it, buddy. Galatians 6 and 7 in NLT. Don't be misled. You cannot mock the justice of the Most High. All right? You will always harvest what you plant. All right? You sow wickedness, you reap it. All right? Let me get this as well. And like what I said, I told y'all this was going to be a long lesson, but you know, when you see fools, they just be bugging, man. Fools be bugging. This is Second Chronicles 36 and 15, one of my favorites. I had to save kind of one of these, the best for last. It says, and the Lord Yahweh power of their fathers sent to them by his messengers, rising up betimes and sending them, because he had compassion on his people on his dwelling place. All right, so you had the prophets getting up early in the morning, all right, like Like, you got some brothers that go out during the evening time. You know, you got a lot more people out. You know, since I'm by myself, in which I still gotta, which I already hit up one of the brothers from the GMS camp thing. I never got a response back, but for the time being, I'm by myself. So I go up, you know, I do mines in the morning, Sunday mornings for about a good, you know, hour or two. You know, I say what I need to say, do my lesson. All right. And, you know, and it got a good amount of people around and stuff like that. I ain't in no crazy area, but it's a good little place. All right. Say what I say in the early, and then I go home. All right. And then make the lessons throughout the week. It says ascending, and it says because he had compassion on his people and on his dwelling place. It says, but they mocked the messengers of the Most High and despised his words and misused his prophets until the wrath of the Lord Yahweh arose against his people till there was no remedy. And that's what's going to happen to you niggas. All right, to you niggas. All right. To you niggas, that's what's going to happen. In verse 17, you know, it goes into it, but it says, therefore he brought upon them the king of the Chaldees, whom slew their young men with the sword and insult in the house of their sanctuary, and had no compassion upon young man or maiden, old man or him that stooped for aged. It says he gave them all into his hand, and which was going to happen today. All right, not today, but you know, soon enough, what's going to happen is that y'all 2/3 ass niggas, like that nigga you just seen, SOS pad ass nigga, he gonna end up being into them riots and shit in the middle of Jacob's trouble, and the Lord gonna have these Chaldees, these Americans, all right, these modern day Romans, all right, he gonna have them motherfuckers end up you know, doing something to your ass. All right. Hey, it just is what it is. You know, the Lord uses people to do things to other people, man. All right, let's get this. This is, oh, snap. This is Proverbs 3:31. It says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. It says, for the froward is an abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but his secret is with the righteous. It says, the curse of the Lord Yahweh is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. Who are the lowly? All right, the elect, the Israelites. All right, it says, the wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. Okay, now let's get this in the NLT. It's pretty nice in the NLT. Proverbs 3:31 in the NLT. Well, I'm gonna start at 30. It says, don't pick a fight without reason when no one has done you harm. And you've seen that, obviously. It says, don't envy violent people or copy their ways. Don't copy Esau, Edom, Jake. You nigga. Such people, it says, such wicked people are detestable to the Lord Yahweh, but he offers his friendship to the godly. It says, the Lord Yahweh curses the house of the wicked, but he blesses the home of the upright. And if you dwelling with the house of the wicked, you're going down. Verse 34, the Lord Yahweh mocks the mockers. See, he mocks at the mockers, but is gracious to the humble. It says, the wise inherit honor, but fools are put to shame. And that brother has a lot of shame coming. All right, so now he wanted to be a part of this world and all like that. So let's go ahead and get these last couple of precepts, and then we can close. All right, this is John 15:19. I'll get in the KJV first. It says, if ye were of the world would have loved his own. But because ye are not of the world, which is the elect of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people. It says, but I have chosen you out of the world. Therefore the world hateth you. All right, that's why they don't like when we go out there. All right, that's why they're going to do things to us and stuff like that. That's why verse 20, it goes deeper into it. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. All right, it says, if they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my sayings, they will keep yours also. All right, but all these things they do unto you for my sake, because they know not him that sent me. All right, so let's get that in the NLT. All right. As a matter of fact, does this? Hold on, y'all. I'm just trying to see something. All right, there we go. Just to let y'all know, this is in the red letter. It says the world's hatred. All right, we start at 18. It says if the world hates you, remember in the NLT. It says if the world hates you, remember that it hated me first. It says the world would love you as one of its own if you belong to it, but you are no longer part of the world. All right, you're not indulging in being part of this wickedness. All right, this wicked ass society. I chose you to come out of the world, so it hates you. Do you remember what I told you? A slave is not greater than the master. Since they persecuted me, naturally they will persecute you, in which they are going to do against the ministry. It says if they had listened to me, they would have listened to you. All right. It says they will do all this to you because of me, for they have rejected the one who sent me. All right. So now let's get our next one. All right. We're going to get 1 John 2 and 15. All right. 1 John 2 and 15, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. All right, let's get that in the NLT. 1 John 2 and 15, do not love this world nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. All right. It says, for the world, verse 16, for the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world. And this world is fading away, along with everything that people crave, but everyone who does what pleases the Most High will live forever. And that, brother, obviously, you know, don't want to be like that. Don't want to be the brothers just living forever and stuff like that. You know, he don't want to. It's like, you know, hey, the Lord got a veil over him. You know, even though all Israel gonna be saved, but you know, Jake gonna have to go through that destruction, man. This is James 2 and 5 in the KJV. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have the Most High God chosen the poor of this world rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom which he have promised to them that love him. All right, to them that love him. All right, let's get this in the NLT. In the NLT, James 2 and 5, listen to me, dear brothers and sisters. Hasn't the Most High God chosen the poor in this world to be rich in faith? You see, that lines up with Romans 8 and 16. It says, aren't they the ones who will inherit the kingdom he promised to those who loved him? All right. Let me it's my last one. It's 1 John 3 and 1. It says, behold, in the KJV, behold, what manner of love the Father Yahweh hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of the Most High. Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. All right. So we are the sons of the Most High. All right. In which you can go and read the rest of this chapters as well. But yeah, let me get in the NLT. All right, in NLT, 1 John 3:1, it says, "See how very much our Father loves us, for He calls us His children, and that is what we are. But the people who belong to this world don't recognize that we are the Most High's children because they don't know Him." All right, that SOS pad ass nigga. All right. Oh, well, they ain't got it now. But they ain't got the S pad, nigga. Let's type in the SOS. Fuck it. Let's just go back. Alright, the SOS pad, nigga. Okay. So, you know, point was made, man. You know, don't be dealing with no fools and just try to avoid them, man. Cause hey man, we almost up out of here. The ones that can't get it is obvious. All right, and it's basically obvious to see the ones who gonna take the MOTB. All right, Lord willing, this was edifying, man. I figure I'll just bring out. I don't know what the title of this will be. It probably be something about some fools or whatever. But Lord willing, this was edifying. Give all praise, honor, and glory going to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.